As I'm sure you can imagine, you're going to have a lot of ups and downs in life while you're on a gut health protocol, meaning life is not going to be steady or flat or consistent. So you have to, well, basically shit happens in life and you have to know how to roll with the crap as it comes through, right? So let me start off by apologizing. I'm a very direct person. I don't have a filter. I was raised on cattle ranches with a very close relationship to grandparents that were from a different era, and they said what they thought. And so that's how I do things, and I don't mean to be offensive or cause problems. I don't know how to fake shit very well. So I'm doing my best to not be divisive and cause problems. I just say things and I just speak the way I do because it's who I am. Okay, so I apologize. Okay, so aside from me being direct and unfiltered, which once again, I apologize. The second thing about me is I'm super consistent, okay? So on my gut health protocol, I'm on the build up protocol. I am on the probiotics and prebiotics. That's the step I'm on with my gut health, and I'm very consistent with that. But last week, I got sick. Tiffany and I were traveling for work, meeting manufacturers and suppliers, and I got really sick. I got a really bad virus. I came down last Thursday with it. I had stomach issues I have not had in a long time. I actually had nausea and reflux. I have not had that in like 8-9 years. I've not had it in a long time. And that was uncomfortable. I had a sore throat. I had loose stools and diarrhea really bad. I'm assuming I got a really bad virus or something. So with that, what did I do? Well, when Tiffany and I travel, I've learned that this type of stuff happens. So I had Cleanse and I had Nano Scrub, right? And I did have Motility for some odd reason. I don't even know why I had Motility, but so for the stomach issues, I was taking the Motility. As soon as I got home, I moved to the upper GI relief because I wanted the ginger and the gut guard to help with stomach nausea and stuff like that. When I got home, I started taking reflux too, but I took the high doses of Cleanse, like 12 capsules morning and night to help with the loose stools and diarrhea. And I was using multiple times a day. I was spraying the Nano Spray in my nose. So that was last Thursday. I came down with being sick, and today's Tuesday, and I feel really good. But for a week, for a period of time, so from last Thursday to probably till this coming Thursday, I made modifications in my gut health protocol to respond to what happened, which is in my case, I got a bad virus, okay? So how do you apply this to what you're doing? Well, let's imagine that you suddenly have to take an antibiotic for something, okay? You get a really bad infection and you're like, oh shit, what do I do? Well, what you don't do is you don't stop the protocols. If you have to start using an antibiotic, that's okay. The only suggestion I would make in that process, if you're on the motility step, stay on the motility step. If you're on the cleanup step, stay on the cleanup step. When you take the antibiotic, the only adjustment you would make is you would add a probiotic. You would add the ultimate probiotic and you take it about 3 hours away from the antibiotics, okay? If all of a sudden, so that's an example. If suddenly you feel like you're in the cleanup protocol, or a lot of people will say, I went on holiday and everything got really bad. So let me give you a little secret to adjusting to account for holidays, travel and what like that. So if you're on holiday and you go on a trip, you have to know your environment's going to change. If you've had constipation problems, there's a chance that's going to happen. Fiber, water intake, that's all going to adjust. You have to account for that, right? So let's assume you've got through the motility steps in a protocol, and you're regular, you're consistent, you're in the cleanup stage of the protocol, but you were going on a trip. I highly recommend you take motility with you, for example, and that when you're traveling, you drink plenty of water and you get plenty of fiber, but that you take motility. Of all the things that I find with our friends when they travel, a lot of the women suddenly get constipated. So you can anticipate those things and you can plan for them. Not only that, you may have to make modifications in your protocols, and that's okay. That's totally fine. It's very difficult for us to build a protocol that is exactly perfect for everybody all the time with how life changes. Some people will go through a period of time with just really high stress, right? Like stress absolutely causes stomach problems, 100%. No ifs, ands, or buts, 100%. Well, if all of a sudden you're going through a stressful time in life and stress hits hard, you've got to balance that out with providing more support during that time. You have to provide more support in gut health, not less. So what the mistake is, typically something happens in life and people stop working on gut health and they just let shit happen and then they let the consequences happen. Don't do that. So if suddenly life gets really stressful and very difficult, which it does, that's life. Obviously, I'm going to suggest Stress Complex because that's what it's for. But that stuff takes time to work. Stress Complex takes about 8 weeks to get going, but you can start it immediately. But don't back off the supplements. If anything, when I get super stressed, I increase the supplementation because I know stress is hammering my gut. But I don't have to stay there forever. You don't have to suddenly be like, oh shit, I'm super stressed, so I have to stay on this adjusted protocol and go really high on everything forever. That's not true. You can do it for a period of time when it's super high stressed, and then you can start to go down on the dose again. But don't stop working on gut health, okay? For those of you that are on protocols or you're working with us, this type of stuff's going to happen. You're going to accidentally eat gluten when you shouldn't have, or you're going to have something's going to come up and it's going to screw your system up. I think that unfortunately is part of the process. Please be consistent. Be aware of the products you're taking, because many times taking more is the answer, not taking less. And just stick with it, okay? Yes, it's okay to make modifications in your protocol as you need to. If you suddenly feel constipated and you're wondering why, well, there's a lot of things that could have caused that. Just make some adjustments in your protocol and help support that for a week or two, and then you can move right along into everything else you were doing already, okay? And then last, as I'm sure you're aware, when you're on taking new products and you're making adjustments to the microbiome, discomfort is going to happen. Bloating and gas seem to be the most common. And the way to address that is if you suddenly feel like the products are causing stomach issues, just reduce the dosing for a week or so and then just work back up. It's totally fine. Those are the answers for what I suggest for responding to crap when it hits in life, which it's going to, while you are on a gut health protocol. I hope this helps. Thanks.